Good evening, viewers, and welcome to today's edition of 30 Minutes on BTA, where we give you an investigative report of some of the topical issues as reported by our correspondents. My name is Charles Bromeo Seninyin, and we are coming to you live from the premises of the Coconut Grove Regency Hotel. In our first story, we take a retrospect of the telecommunications industry and how this has benefited the nation.
The telecommunication industry in Ghana has come a very long way, gaining significant strides in the process. This tremendous increase in the teledensity has been as a result of the establishment of the National Communication Authority (NCA) in 1997 and the subsequent deregulation of the telecom industry, which brought about the growth of wireless telephony as a result of significant investment by operators. For the consumer, being in touch simply means being able to purchase a mobile handset and subscribing to a wireless service. Deregulation also means opportunities for ambitious entrepreneurs and large telecom companies to establish operations in Ghana's recent economic history. But after several years of deregulation, what is the state of the sector currently?
Mobile network operators have invested around $6 billion since the environment was liberalized. The telecom market was liberalized. We've created around, indirectly, about 1.6 million jobs. Directly, they employ about 4,000 or 5,000 people directly. And they also contribute around 10% of government revenues. In fact, for every cedi that you pay to a network operator, about 35 pesos, or 35% of the money that you pay goes to government in the form of taxes. Now, and of course, in addition to that, they do corporate social responsibility projects, many of which we are all aware of: social programs, education, women, environment, health, and so on.
Within the last decade, the mobile telecommunication industry in the country has exploded with a fast-growing customer base. As of December 2014, there were 6 mobile phone service providers. The country's population was estimated about 26,779,409, and the total mobile subscription in the country was 30,360,771, whilst total data subscription also reached 15,805,925. The number of mobile data customers constituted 59.02% of the total population. Mobile penetration in Ghana therefore stands at 100.41%. But this does not mean that all Ghanaians have active mobile phone lines. Multi-SIM mean the ownership of more than one active mobile phone line by one person is commonplace in Ghana, and that amounts for the over 100% penetration. Currently, there is much competition within the 6 telecoms. As at the end of December, the mobile voice subscribers grew to 30,360,771. Vodafone subscriber base stands at 7,069,506. Similarly, Tigo subscriber base recorded 4,133,760. MTN subscriber base at the end of December 2014 stood at 13,852,398, and the market share of Airtel at the end of December recorded 3,735,656. Glo has figures of 1,450,382, while Expresso had 119,059 subscribers by close of December 2014. But with all these subscribers depending on these operators, are customers really receiving the best from them?
Telecom services in Ghana are some of the cheapest in Africa. A neighboring Ivory Coast, a domestic call will set you back around about 22 cents, US, equivalent of 22 US cents for a domestic call, thereabouts. Yeah. Of course, in Nigeria, it's 4 US cents. In South Africa, it's 3 US cents. In Ghana, it's the equivalent of 1.2 or 1.3 cents. Ghana is actually the 4th cheapest market in Africa. So telecom services are a lot more expensive and actually a lot more reliable in Ghana than elsewhere in Africa. The complaints, of course, are understandable because people want their phone to be working all the time. It is expected that in multinational corporations working in Ghana will give Ghanaians the same quality of service as they would give in their parent countries.
But is this what the public really experience with their services?
Network problems, there are a lot. I believe the telecommunication networks in Ghana are not really doing well. I think internet service is not really that great, and then especially with calls, with the people, somebody might be close by, but you call and then they tell you out of coverage area and all that. So it's not really the best. I think there's more room for improvement.
Auto credit more bonus. Who you call that? Who friendly panel almost switch off, Omuhaji, yeah, you are free. Yeah, far from that.
The problem that I normally encounter when I'm using the network, I normally use MTN, but I will go and bundle an internet, or maybe I will bundle a credit for an internet. I will go to the how do you call it, the internet once, but by the time I will check my credit bank, they have deducted all my bundles. And I feel so bad. That's one major thing that worries my network thing that I use now.
The networks, I think most of them are bad. And secondly, they send irrelevant messages that you will not benefit from it. Yeah, you are not interested in that message. Then all of a sudden, you just get a message alert paying for no reason. And most of the areas to their network is very, very bad, especially if I can mention West Hill Mall. It's very, very, very bad. The whole entire place, not even the mall inside, the outside the mall, every place is very, very, very bad.
Unfortunately, service provided by these telcos leave much to be desired. The service number you're calling is temporarily unavailable, or the number you're calling cannot be reached are common messages that have become household voices to hear if you are one of the over 30 million mobile phone users in the country. It is something annoying since the subscriber you would be calling could just be a few meters away with a mobile phone switched on.
The environment in which the business takes place is a third world one. For example, we've got power outages, and therefore each of these masts that you see have to have gensets, huge gensets, thousands and thousands of them. They are parts of the country where there's no the electricity grid doesn't run there, and yet the topography lends itself for the location of masts to facilitate communication. So you locate your mast there, you've got to power the mast. Okay? In the first world, there won't be power outages, therefore you won't have to invest in generators, therefore you won't need to refuel. All right? Not only that, sometimes the fuel is stolen. That wouldn't happen in the first world market. You also have fiber cuts. People are digging, galamsey, they will dig it. People will steal or cut the cable thinking there's copper in it so they can go and sell it. But that will create downtime and people can't make calls due to fiber cuts. In 2011, there were, throughout the year, there were about 480 fiber cuts. As at 2013, there were more than 2,000 fiber cuts. It costs nearly 20,000 Ghana cedis to repair a fiber cut. That's after you've located it. So all of these are manifestations of our environment. If you are trying to lay a cable, for example, you've got kiosks, you've got buildings in your path, right? it will delay the expansion of telecom services.
As mobile phone service providers expand their subscription base, it is incumbent on them to improve the quality of their service. One important problem is the fraudulent activities going on with the use of SIM box, which leaves customers very uneasy with their services in terms of security and confidentiality. Recently, 6 people have been apprehended for SIM box fraud, which involves the former Guidabos for causing the state to lose $33 million. So the question now is, what is the necessary step taken to curb this menace?
Welcome back, viewers. That was my colleague Prince Daniel Benson Jr. In our next story, we take a look at the menace of SIM fraud and how some unscrupulous Ghanaians are using this in defrauding the nation of millions of Ghana cedis.
Periodically, there have been several arrests made and press conferences held and prosecution done. But it is significant to note that since the phenomenon of SIM boxing began about 6 years ago, the country has not seen any successful prosecution. SIM box fraud takes place when individuals or organizations illegally terminate a voice call of registered licensed network operators, usually at low cost than the approved rate. The Criminal Investigative Department CID of Ghana Police Service, officials from the National Communication Authority, the various telecom service providers in Ghana, and with support from Suba Info Solution Ghana Limited, made arrest 8 illegal SIM box operators. Over 21,000 SIM cards, equipment, and items including laptop computers, monitors, heavy-duty batteries, generators, internet routers, SIM service, 4G internet modems, printers, mini antennas, power inverters, and a satellite earth receiving system and large quantities of assorted scratch cards of various telecom service providers, among others, were seized. Now the question asked here is, in a country where SIM boxes are not manufactured, how does these SIM boxes get into the country? Within which route that these SIM boxes reach this country? The country has been grappling with a lingering menace of SIM box fraud, where some fraudsters in Ghana and abroad route calls from overseas through the internet and terminate them to local SIM cards into a device called SIM boxes. These despicable activities of the fraudsters had led to a total revenue loss of $33 million between a period of 5 to 7 months. But after these several arrests, the country has not seen any successful prosecution. So where does this leave the country on the verge to improve the economy?
The network operators have worked with the task force. In fact, they are members of the task force that made the recent busts. They always work as a task force. They always work as members of the task force. And without their contribution, without their facilities, you will not be able to arrest one soul. Okay? So, because it's their network, all right, and they know where calls are coming from. Not only that, every single day, network operators are using their fraud management systems to block SIM boxes. It's routine. There's no festive announcements and press conferences surrounding the work that the fraud management team does. They're blocking tens of thousands of calls every month. Okay, so that's what they do. But they're also members of a task force that has done this. They did it in September, without Suba. They did it the year before and the year before. They've been like a series of 6 or 7 arrests, except there has been only one successful prosecution. But that's the job of the prosecutor. I believe that some of the cases are in the pipeline, still on trial. If the suspects are guilty, hopefully the system will find them so. But what we can do as network operators is to play our role, deploying and ensuring that our fraud management systems are effective, and also that we play our part as leaders, joint leaders of the fraud management task force.
Meanwhile, the country has set a 2016 target to eliminate the incidence of SIM-box fraud, which is estimated to cost the country in excess of $70 million annually in non-paid taxes on the yet-to-be-established Interconnect Clearinghouse to stem the prevalence of a crime that telcos blame for the loss of more than 40% of core traffic from the U.S. This initiative has sparked several debates as to which is the right solution in curbing the nagging issues of SIM-box fraud. Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Kwaku Ado, is adamant that the solution to SIM-boxing fraud lies elsewhere rather than establish an interconnect clearinghouse.
From where we sit, SIM-boxing is not a law and order problem, and it is not a technical problem. From where we sit, we think that the root cause is pricing, the pricing differential. That we do not believe can be solved by a clearinghouse. But we are in discussions with the authorities on that one. But SIM-boxing is, our view is that it's been resolved in some markets, including Nigeria, using pricing. Any trader knows that if you lower your prices, you attract more customers. The more you charge, the less customers you will attract. So, of course, it is understandable that government needs revenues to undertake the projects that we all want our government to do for us. But it is obvious from the current regime that over the last 5 or 6 years, the volume of traffic going through the legitimate route is declining. Therefore, the 6 cents a minute that is due to government, the quantum collected is also declining. So it's not working. So if you keep it up, you're not getting the money anyway, whether you are an oil producing country or not. Okay? So it's not effective. It is not stopping SIM-boxing. Now, here is what you can do to help. When you receive a call from overseas and it shows on your phone as a local number, it means it's a SIM-box call. So what you can do is, after you finish taking your call, you type the number that called you. If it's 0901111 that called you, you type that number the way you do when you're going to send a text. So you go to your text message, space, and you type it 0901111 and add SIM-boxing. You type SIM-boxing or SIM-box and send to 419. It is free, toll free. You will receive immediately an acknowledgement of receipt from your network operator, and they will work on blocking that number. There is no penalty for the person who called you from overseas because it's not illegal where they've called from. They haven't done anything wrong. It will not be traced to the person who called you. Also, if anyone thinks that if you want to block somebody's number, if you text it to her and you add SIM-box into it, network operators will block that person's number. Though that won't happen because they do their, the technical diligence before they block. They are able to establish, based on certain parameters, the calls that are indeed SIM-box calls. Okay, one of them is that SIM-box calls don't receive calls; they only make outgoing calls. That's just one of them, but there are others, and so no one runs any risk of having someone they are in competition with over something to have their number blocked by sending it and attaching SIM-boxing to it. So this is what you can do.
So you heard for yourself that anytime you receive a phone call with a local number, all you have to do is to type the number plus SIM-box into your message space to 419. This is to let you know that we all have a role to play in combating these activities that is defrauding the nation and reaping the nation of several millions of Ghana cedis. My name is Prince Daniel Benson for BTA News.
Welcome back, viewers. In our last story, we investigate the refusal of some driver unions and drivers to reduce lorry fares, notwithstanding the government's reduction of fuel prices by 10%.
The National Petroleum Authority (NPA) early this month reviewed prices of petroleum products downwards by 10%. Currently, a litre of petrol is selling at 3 Ghana cedis 5 pesos, diesel at 2 Ghana cedis 97 pesos, while a kilogram of LPG is going for 2 Ghana cedis 64 pesos. Consumers, however, say the reduction does not reflect the current price of crude oil on the international market. Since the reduction, there has been pressure on transport operators and traders to reduce their wares in line with a 10% reduction in petroleum prices. The JPLTUN others initially rejected those calls, insisting that the transport fares are not influenced by the cost of fuel. However, they later badged and reduced transport fares by 5%. Unfortunately, various transport operators are still maintaining the old fares. Calculations were done by the JPLTU and the lists of current transport fares are released. The new fares took effect from Friday 9th January 2015. Some commercial drivers have refused to comply with the 5% reduction in transport fares announced, citing high cost of vehicle spare parts and maintenance costs.
JPLTU for us it is 5%. And 5% now it is no. As all my say figure and say 5% there Mamplobi 18,000. 5% I never just what it. If just your friends say 5 a coin kit or anything. Oh, into me just well. In there's all my figure figure and say. Now first no. There 2 petrol more. There first in what radio so. And as there will be a jeep no because some my figure be say figure you say and it's a first reduce the budget petrol any floor fare bia baso as we say there and this
fair no yes yet so no say yet fuel no so no ese na ga yes yet fair no so fine omo you right say yet so but say fair no yet fair no so cowness no omo nte omo sales no so at the same time we kwa boso kan so price no so omo nte so mayen oye na ade nyina omo nte so nti ni nyina effect ye na first beginning no so omo beti fair no so a omo betu petrol mu a omo di fair ni nyina ba out ma ye nyina ye ya we but omo ti so etu brewery so omo betu petrol mu a omo tu mu a yemfa ye friend say omo ma yentu fair no so ono say e be effect ye omo tu meti omo tu mitu fuel no mu yente yentu fair no so omo se yentwen ansa emiri se omo be kai a omo tu fuel mu na ka yesi ye be tu petrol mu ye be tu fair no so omo se omo mente so ye on tu fair no so ansa yentwen ye hold on ni ye hold on nti ye twen no omo se omo tu mbiom omo tu mbiom a omo sa ye be omo ma ya tu fair no mu but yes ano omo tie diesel no so na omo petrol no omo ante so omo sisi a ye petrol fuel no omo ye tu taxi no omo ye ho che yen sisi adwuma hwe la ye na se we ye nya pa kromo ya den kan obi antumemfo
Jeremy ha me say ye call spare parts store ye nti so ye income tax ye nti so ye to an egusu to so mu odin nti dey nti na sa 10% awate us for no ye say ye ti fuel so ye ti transportation so ti mu oya ye say obe fast station kwan we kwan fun we say so no we chato be twa almost your na se still a wo de utua kai na fat kotokoto na akoba na fu ahia na ate so say ye tumete first so nti ende am wan.
However, the JPLTU still insists they have communicated the new prices to the drivers and that some of them are taking the bright prices from the passengers.
There was a reduction as agreed with road transport operators with the Ministry of Transport by 5%, which took effect from on the 5th. on the 19th of this month, January. Some few stations which had complied. Example is Accra to Lomé.
The news team hit the transport stations in Accra to find out from the passengers if these drivers are really taking the right prices as ordered by the JPLTU.
Yeah, because it's this 50 pesos. You buy no one it's Sakrabia Mamuye. I'm saying it is no Yantiso Himbia 10% in the peanut intino. San community so fed that they are any anchor almost on Musin on Betty Swafa.
No more, ye home for Subia, Momo is on Tiso. So much is no person who dear, Nanka some common drivers who say want to so. But what is 5% as you home some for Subia? So, of course, almost per person sanity. Decided pass and a sound of Begiano. I am why young passengers, no, young for Subia. Young is a Mwangasana, a bone. The youngest passengers, and I hear Dawson, the young Faso, the young Sabia news on Moyensa.
My route has not changed because this morning when I came, I paid the same fare. They haven't reduced it.
Nothing has changed.
Normally, where do you commute from? Where do you pick the car?
Let's say Adenta to this place. Yeah. Right now, as I was coming, I paid 1 cedi 80 pesos. Previously, it's 1 cedi 80 pesos. So there haven't been any change.
The big question is, who checks these drivers from defrauding the public as they load your vehicles, and who can the public report such cases to?
Oh, it is the leadership of the various unions who are supposed to do that. We've made it plain to the general public that whoever is not complying with these directives, our doors are opened for action to be taken against such a driver.
Meanwhile, the refusal of the drivers not to decrease the transport fares do more harm than good to just passengers. It also affects prices of goods as market women who are much hopeful that the reduction in the transport fares could aid them reduce the prices of their wares for customers to buy were played down.
Because of the prices of the fuel, before the onion reach in this country, in terms of how the prices of the fuel are and the prices of the onion, maybe you can get the onion, the full sack over there, let's say 200 Ghana CFA or 50 CFA. But if you compare the fuel and the transportation, it can reach here less 260, 240. The overall sack, 260 Ghana. So we will be selling, if you reach here, the sack reaches here 250 Ghana, we will sell it 280, 270, at times 290. It depends on the quality of the onion.
Day in and day out, we do experience these unscrupulous activities by individuals in the country. But the question is, who do we report to? Who do we tell? It looks as if all these activities has indeed become a norm in this country. We take it as something normal. But the question, right, is where does it leave us as a country where these unscrupulous activities are seen as something normal? My name is President Benson for BTA News.
Thank you, viewers. It's been a pleasure staying with us. Do join us same time next week for yet another edition of 30 Minutes. My name is Charles Bromeo Seninyen. Keep watching BTA. We've got your business.
The money that you pay goes to government in the form of taxes. And of course, in addition to that, they do corporate social responsibility projects, many of which we are all aware of: social programs, education, women, environment, health, and so on.
Within the last decade, the mobile telecommunication industry in the country has exploded with a fast-growing customer base. As of December 2014, there were 6 mobile phone service providers. The country's population was
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to today's edition of 30 Minutes on BTA, where
the market was liberalized. We've created around, indirectly, about 1.6 million jobs. Directly, they employ about 4,000 or 5,000 people directly. And they also contribute around 10% of government revenues. In fact, for every city that you pay to a network operator, about 35 pesos or 35% of.
as a result of significant investment by operators. For the consumer, being in touch simply means being able to purchase a mobile handset and subscribing to a wireless service. Deregulation also means opportunities for ambitious entrepreneurs and large telecom companies to establish operations in Ghana's recent economic history. But after several years of deregulation, what is the state of the sector currently?
Mobile network operators have invested around $6 billion since the environment was liberalized, the telecom.
we give you an investigative report of some of the topical issues as reported by our correspondents. My name is Charles Bormio Seninyan, and we are coming to you live from the premises of the Coconut Grove Regency Hotel. In our first story, we take a retrospect of the telecommunications industry and how this has benefited the nation.
The telecommunication industry in Ghana has come a very long way, gaining significant strides in the process. This tremendous increase in the tele-density has been as a result of the establishment of the National Communication Authority (NCA) in 1997 and the subsequent deregulation of the telecom industry, which brought about the growth of wireless telephony